Hello, Grace Harbor Church. I am so glad that I get to bring the devotional to you today. Today, it is actually from Philippians chapter 2, verse 3 through 4. And what it says is this: Do nothing from selfish ambition or conceit, but in humility count others more significant than yourself. Let each of you look not only to his own interest, but also to the interest of others. So when we look at this passage, it's interesting to just think, like, imagine if people did act this way in a world so filled with selfies and your own personal Instagram page or influencers or Facebook or whatever is Yelp, where our opinion is king, right, or queen. Can you imagine what it'd be like to live in a world like it says in here, where we live not for ourselves, but for God, and in that we live to help other people. We put other people in front of ourselves. We live selfless lives, living in humility, putting other people's comforts in front of our own. Can you imagine? Like, there's so many people in this world, in the church and outside of the church, who want to see that happen. They want to see equality. They want to see people thriving and on a level playing field. And what ends up happening is when it comes down to setting aside our own pride, our own self-ambition, all these different things, when it comes down to setting aside our comfort, it's hard to do that. Even though we know it's going to help somebody else out, it's like, well, what about my comfort? What about my family's comfort? I've worked really hard for this, and we fall short. But can you imagine what this world would look like if the church would just step in and do what it's been asked to do in these passages? Can you imagine what that would look like? It would look like revival. Why? Because it is so counterculture to the way that this world is. It's so much like how Jesus lived his life. Now Jesus was perfect and he was awesome. And we're called to live like him, reflect him. Revival happens when this world sees what's going on, but sees Jesus in the world and says, hey, I need to look more like that. That is so attractive. Why? Because it truly feeds to that purpose that we have in our life to make God known. Can you imagine what this world would look like if each one of us in the church would set aside our own selfish ambition, would be humble, set aside our pride, and come together and help each other out? And not only help each other out, but help people outside of the church. It would look so different from this world, and it'd be so attractive. It drew people in when Jesus was living his life, not because he was passive about what he believed or the things that God had called him to do. No, he was all for that. He was against sin, but he was for people. And so I encourage you today, try and pray when you wake up. Pray that you would dedicate your life today to being humble, to being selfless, to being compassionate and caring for other people. Because if we all do that, and we all start our day just thinking, God, how can I be more like Jesus today? This world, our neighborhood, our city, our church will change for the better. Why? Because with God here with us, we are that light shining to the world. We're Jesus living among them. That's what we've been called to do. Christians, being little Christs. Let us be that today. I love you all. Have a great day.